THS, I'm Annika Storms.
And I'm Sally Embry.
And we're anchoring for WHTV News.
Our April broadcast is starting this month with a special news feature over studying and the upcoming end-of-the-year tests.
Many students are faced with upcoming finals and weighted tests, so here's Danny with how other students are preparing for them.
AP tests, EOCs, finals, and other tests are on the horizon, and with that comes preparation on all fronts, including students, teachers, and administrators. One of the tests that are available for students to take is the AP test, a standardized test that, if paid for and passed, allows high schoolers to go into college with hours, according to Assistant Principal Emily Hain.
I think it just offers them a great opportunity to get college credit at a much cheaper rate.
As of 2024, AP testing costs $98, though it varies slightly from year to year, with it being $97 during the 2022 through 2023 school year, according to Hain.
I say take it. Take the test because, like I said before, we have the opportunity to work with teachers in a much smaller setting.
42.1% of students study for standardized tests, while 33.3% occasionally study and 24.6% don't, according to a survey conducted.
What I do is I highlight the most important parts that I will remember, and then I'll try and remember the little things I can't.
33.9% of students study for classroom tests, 46.1% study sometimes, and 20% don't study.
Tips I would suggest are studying with your friends so you can talk out what you need to know.
Testing helps students apply the knowledge they've learned and also receive feedback on what areas they excel in, according to Director of Assessment, Data, and School Improvement, Jill Klon-Smith.
I think finals are worthwhile. I think we're trying to prepare students that want to move on to school after high school. They need to be ready to take a final exam.
Finals week for freshmen through juniors will go from May 28th through the 30th. EOCs as well as AP testing will go from May 6th through the 17th. Back to the studio.
It's a good time to lock in for classes as the school year is nearly completed.
And with one year ending, another one is going to begin shortly. For the freshmen this year, they're going to have to say goodbye to their Link crew members.
But with a new year, there will be new Link crew members to meet. Here's Annika with a story over Link crew.
Hello Timberland, this is Annika Storms reporting from outside room 252, where Timberland's Link crew meets. For any students interested in Link and what they do, I'm here to illuminate these mysteries.
So I think this is our 11th year of Link, and I have sponsored Link all 11 years. I also really love seeing freshmen who are kind of reluctant to go to stuff, showing up at our events and actually having a good time and surprising themselves.
They made it more enjoyable. It's easy to interact with more people and enjoy my time here.
Because you're going to have some freshmen that are ready to go and some that are very reserved, and try to meet them in their place.
You can find Link's social media handles on Instagram at LinkLeadersTHS, and they're also on X under the same name.
So obviously we start with the orientation, and that is our biggest event because we get probably about 80-ish% of the freshmen there. We have a tailgate every year before the first home football game because, again, we want to get the kids, like the freshmen, to see how cool football games can be.
So as a Link leader, we basically get to mentor freshmen, and it's a really cool opportunity not only to introduce freshmen to high school, but also to build bonds with them.
This is the most popular year we've had, and that just shows you the great job that Ms. Smith has done, but then to have the supportive administration that continue our budget, and they can see the success of the program, and they've believed in us, and I feel like we are making a difference.
Anybody can come to our events. It doesn't have to be that they're just for freshmen, and even upperclassmen don't have to be Link leaders. So even if people are not yet involved, obviously it's too late to apply for next year, but they can still come out to our events and see what we're all about.
Whether you choose to join Link in upcoming years or not, the work they do behind the scenes for school activities is intense. This is Annika Storms reporting. Back to the studio.
Being a Link crew member sure takes a lot of energy.
I agree. I wonder how they have so much to spare.
Maybe the same way I keep my energy up throughout the day.
And how's that?
I drink energy drinks to give myself a caffeine boost, and many others drink it for the same effect. Here's Aiden with the scoop on energy drinks.
Something that many students reach for in the school day is caffeine. According to Better Health Channel, caffeine is a stimulant, which means it increases activity in your brain and nervous system. Like many other drugs, it is possible to build a tolerance to caffeine, which means you'll need bigger and bigger doses to achieve the same effect. Let's see how Timberland feels about energy drinks.
I'm not a big fan of the energy drinks. It's just, I'm a coffee guy.
Yeah, I do occasionally. I try to stay away from them because I know they're not that good for me, but whenever I do choose one, I like Ghost energy drinks the most.
I do think that artificially managing my energy is not super wise because it takes control away from my body, and relying on things like energy drinks and caffeine supplements, or even on the other end of it, things like melatonin or Ambiens, definitely take control away from me and my mindset of being able to naturally control when I have energy.
I drink a lot because I am really bad at sleeping, so it helps me move. I think that they are very bad for you and that I shouldn't be drinking them all the time, but they also taste really good and get me through the day, so I do drink them all the time.
So I do drink energy drinks, and I drink them because I work a lot and I go to school, so balancing that out doesn't really give you a whole lot of sleep. So sometimes it's just easier to drink an energy drink than try and get those extra couple hours of sleep. And then I think my favorite brands are probably like Rain and like one or two of the Ghosts.
In a survey conducted among the student and faculty body, it was found that 53% drink energy drinks and 47% do not. The majority of these people drink them moderately at 1 to 3 times a week, and in a landslide victory, Monster Energy Drink won the most popular.
So I do not drink energy drinks. I think they have too much caffeine in them. I prefer to stay under 100 milligrams a day, and that's the recommended dosage, and most of them are between 100 and 200 milligrams, and I just think that's too much. I don't want to be addicted to caffeine. I want to make sure that I keep my heart healthy and, my body healthy.
I don't, mostly because I just don't like the taste. They kind of burn. So, yeah.
There are many brands of energy drinks available, all with varying caffeine dosages, so it is important to check nutrition facts and read health warnings before consuming to keep yourself within a healthy amount and don't endanger yourself in case of any outstanding medical conditions.
I've kind of quit since, I used to drink them every single day, 24/7, and it just, I wasn't feeling great. It made me kind of lazy and overall just took a toll on my body that I noticed. So I just stopped drinking them. And I only drink them every once in a while. So, yeah, they're bad for your heart. Don't drink them. They're not good for you.
I drink them really whenever I'm about to play volleyball. I don't drink them just to get my day started because I feel like that's pointless. It's too much energy for you're just going to school.
I enjoy them even though they make me anxious. So sometimes I choose not to drink them because they give me more anxiety, but they do wake me up and they taste good sometimes.
I don't. Even though they can be really helpful for some people, for me it makes me crash even faster than when I don't have them, so I just don't tend to drink them.
Caffeine is a tool to help you stay awake and alert, but it is also a health risk to be taken responsibly. This has been Aiden Storms on the Street. Back to the studio.
I am so happy to have my driver's license. My bus rides were always dubious at best before I was able to drive.
Why do you think that was? Do you think a PSA could have helped your bus ride be more peaceful after a long school day?
I do, and here's a PSA by Jolie.
The safety of all students is a responsibility we all share. Students, parents, bus drivers, and school officials must work together to ensure our children are transported safely. The school bus is an extension of the classroom and all school rules and policy apply. Here are some tips for safety on the school bus. Tip number 1. When entering and exiting the school bus, students should wait in a single line on a sidewalk or driveway when possible. Tip number 2. Stay seated. Students should go directly to their assigned seat and remain seated, back to back, seat to seat, feet on the floor and aisles clear at all times. Don't jump around, always stay seated for your own safety and others while the bus is moving. This will lower the risk of accidental injuries to student and distraction to the bus driver. Tip number 3. Keep your hands and feet to yourself and inside the bus. Try not to touch other people without consent. While we know accident happens, harassment is not an accident. Leave some space between you and your seatmate and don't hang out the bus window. Tip number 4. Be nice to others, mind your language, and address people with kind words and language. Tip number 5. Be nice to the bus driver. They're people too. Your life is literally in their hands, so respect and be kind to them. Tip number 6, don't leave trash on the bus and clean up after yourself. When you have trash, throw it away as you leave the bus. Put your trash in the trash can. Don't leave it in your seat or litter on the way to your house. Tip number 7, don't be loud or disturb others. When talking to others on the bus, use your inside voice. If you're listening to music or watching videos on your phone, wear headphones. Tip number 8, don't throw things. This means don't throw things at people or out the bus. This is really dangerous to people inside and outside the bus and can result in car accidents with severe punishments to the students. Tip number 9, don't start fights or bully other people. Respect each other. Tip number 10, while some buses may be okay with food and drinks, some buses may not, so check with your bus drivers and follow their rules. School officials make every effort to provide safe, punctual, comfortable, and orderly transportations of students. Each student is expected to comply with all regulations of the Transportation Department. The drivers in charge of each bus will outline these regulations. Failures to comply with bus regulations could result in temporary loss of transportation privileges and/or other consequences deemed appropriate by an administrator.
Did you hear there's a boys volleyball team this year? Did they have a team in previous years?
Nope. This is the first year Timberland has a boys team for volleyball.
I wonder why. I'm sure these answers and more can be found in Sally's story.
This is Sally Embry reporting. Timberland, since its opening in 2002, had been without a boys volleyball team. It wasn't until this year this school finally got a team together, all thanks to Mission making it an official sport.
Our first game was really an exciting one because it started out at home. We had a great crowd that night, and it was a long, hard-fought match between us and North Point, and we were fortunate enough to end on a high note and win that match. So getting the first victory of the entire program's history on our home floor on our first game was super exciting. And going forward, I just would really like to see the program continue to grow and us to have a program that is that approaches or comes close to the level of what our girls program is, so that we can have two programs that are consistent and support each other and are on par with each other. That's really the hope.
With 10 boys on varsity and 9 on JV, the team members get to know each other and grow close. Team members Anish Dahuja and Dalio Tawil share their favorite part about the team and how close they became.
I would say the energy. The energy is always there. A lot of people before games will go out to eat at Chick-fil-A, come back, bring stuff for other guys. So I would say we're pretty close.
I like the environment we have going on. Like whenever someone messes up, everyone's really supportive. They help them improve, but they're not like mean about it. I'd say we're close, yeah. Like whenever we go on bus rides for tournaments and stuff, we're having fun playing music. I think it's a good environment. We all like each other.
For their first year, the boys volleyball team has their Lafayette tournament on April 27th and their Class 1 state tournament starting on May 15th, lasting through the 22nd. Teammates are looking forward to what they want to accomplish before the season ends.
I think for a first-year team, we're pretty good. I want to try and win the NICSA tournament that we're going to in April, and I want to have a positive record at least. I want to beat some good schools.
Hope to set an example for the upcoming years of Timberland volleyball.
The varsity team has about 30 matches to compete for, and they've competed for most of them and are heading towards the end of their season. The team has gained some wisdom to share with future players.
Listen and work hard.
Definitely don't mess around too much at practice because Harmon will get mad at you. And whenever you make a mistake or like you notice something isn't right, ask the coach what you could do to improve and then try to implement that. Because if you don't know what you did wrong, you're never going to fix it.
The next boys volleyball team will be tonight against Francis Howell Central. The game will start at 5 o'clock and will take place at home. The tickets will cost $2 for students and $4 for adults. Now back to the studio.
Bye, Timberland. See you next month.